What's up everyone? Welcome to another Northgard video on this channel. Today with the big patch note review for the new update Kröwns and Daggers. A very interesting update for Northgard, introducing like a diplomacy system into the game, which comes with a few new features which we are going to go over right here in this video. I hope you're having a good time, and yeah, let's just start right into the video right here, I guess. Hey everyone, we are very happy to finally present you the sixth major free update for Northgard, Kröwns and Daggers, available right now. The Kröwns and Daggers update brings a host of new features, gameplay additions, and even a new neutral faction to Northgard. With an increased focus on diplomacy and a complete overhaul of how you develop and maintain relations with your fellow factions, Kröwns and Daggers is easily one of our most ambitious content updates yet. Read on to find out more about what you're about to expect. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do right here. I also gotta say it is a very, very different feel to play Northgard right now through the diplomacy system. At least like how you interact with other neutrals and also kind of with the other clans right there. We're just gonna dive in right here a little bit deeper into the patch notes that you're gonna get what it is all about. Because the diplomacy screen got implemented into the game. Let's see what they say about it. The relation system with neutral factions has been reworked. Each faction now represents 4 relation statuses, offering new rewards and risks depending on how you treat the faction. All new interactions with the neutral factions are reunited in the new diplomacy screen. And this is how it would look like. You now can always see a little avatar here for all of the factions. Usually they're not straight up called Jötnar, right? Can still be different Jötnars on the map, I'm pretty sure at least. And then they have their name right there. Also the Mulkafar and dwarven usually have own names for their tribes, because there can definitely be different tribes of the same neutrals on the same map. The dwarvens are the completely new neutral faction right here. I think we're gonna go over them in this patch notes a little bit later too, a little bit more directly. But you can see right here we have like 2 sad faces, 1 sad face, a neutral face, and a happy face. On basic, like if you start out the game, you will start with this level right here, let's say. So you will get attacks for expansion from kobolds, how it usually were. You have peace with the giants, but you cannot run through their tiles, what is also like it would be normally, like you know from before. You have occasional raids from the Mulkafar, basically also how it were before. The only thing that changed right now is that I heard that now multiple Mulkafar can spawn on the map, and therefore you also have double the chance to get occasionally raided by them. Therefore Mulkafar attacks can get a little bit more frequent as they were before. And with the dwarven you also have peace, but you cannot trespass through their territory right there. If you happen to attack one of the neutral factions, then you will definitely get into a little bit of a fight with them, because then you will get to the double sad face right here, because you basically have enemy relationships then with the faction. The kobolds will prioritize attacking you. The Jötnar will actually start frequently attacking you with big giants, which can be a little bit of a pickle, so you should watch out when you start a war with them. The Mulkafar will attack you a lot more often, and with the dwarven it will basically be like with the Jötnar, they will attack you a lot oftener. And I can tell you a dwarven is definitely not to joke with. Like they can definitely also dish out quite a bit of damage, but in general, we're still gonna go over them. So if you're neutral with them, you can free roam through the territory of the kobolds, you can free roam through the territory of the Jötnar. With the Mulkafar you will basically be on the same level like you were over here. Like you have peace with them, but you cannot run through their territory, but they won't attack you anymore. And the dwarven will give you a few gifts. So you will get, I think, iron and stone, always a little bit for them when you trade with them, which is generally pretty cool. Can definitely help you out in the game. I think they have a maximum of 30 iron and 60 stone in their stock. So this is the maximum they can gift around. So it's not like an infinite source of minerals. But yeah, they have quite a few minerals there. And if you trade with them, they can definitely help you out there. When you get the kobolds on very happy, this is when you basically get the bar up to 100%. I think this here is 50%, and 100% you get this relationship over here. Like usually you will start like around 33%, and yeah, then it can go down if you go war with them, can go better if you are nice with them. I don't think you actually start on 33%. I think it's actually 0 or something. I'm not too sure. With the kobolds, you get trading partner. I think they will just give you +5 permanent gold production, if I remember that right. Please correct me if I'm wrong. The Jotnas will get your battle ally, so you basically get a Jotna, how you know before. And the Murkafar, then you can then you don't target the raids, but the Murkafar will target their raids at your opponents, which is definitely quite interesting, so you can annoy your opponent a little bit. And I don't know how it's called for the dwarven right now, but I know what it is. You get 2 dwarvens sent to your territory, like they will appear like the Jotna. You cannot attack with the dwarven. They cannot leave your territory at all, not even into your allied territory. They can only be in your own territory. They can be used as miners though, so you can mine, basically like with the horse war chiefs. You don't need to build a quarry for it. You can just take the dwarvens, put them on a my god, on a mineral deposit. Now I got it there we go, mineral deposit, and can mine with them, which is pretty interesting. They can also forge for you and basically give you a little bit of a boost there, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know if there's a straight up number boost in there. If there is, feel free to drop it in the comment. I think it's only getting the dwarvens right there, but I also heard something about getting a little bit of a buff there. I'm just not sure if that's all right, but interesting. Having a little bit of a mining help and forging help is already cool, and their stats look pretty good. I didn't have a chance to fight with them yet, but their stats is like they have 65 HP and I think they have 10 attack. So they're basically like a little beefier, unupgraded warrior, which I don't think is all too bad, because if there are multiple dwarven factions on the map, you can also get multiple of these miners basically for you. Let me tell you, they look pretty sick, by the way. They have like a white armor on themselves with white beards and everything. It looks pretty neat how they're looking in general. But having in mind that you could have like 4 of them in your territory and defend yourself with them, this can make a little bit of a difference. And then keep in mind that you could also get the militias. So I think you can get a pretty turtley style going with those dwarvens in your back. While I don't know if you get new ones if you lose them. So not too sure about that. Let's go on though. Don't want to go on ramble on too long on this here. Let's go to the offering well. The offering well is a new building available to improve your relationships with neutral factions. I think it definitely costs 5 stone. I don't know, word gold? It definitely costs 5 stone. This is the most important thing about it, I guess, because minerals are limited. But you also pay like, I don't know, 100 or 200 gold or wood, not too sure, but 5 stone, most important thing. You will improve your relationship with the neutrals that are adjacent to the tile what you build the offering well on. So if you have a kobold tile right next to you, you can build a offering well right next to them, and the relationship to them will slowly increase without you even trading to them. So that can be pretty cool to just make sure that you don't get attacked by kobolds that are bordering right next to you, right? And get a little peace going there, which is generally pretty cool, because oftentimes if you are out fighting, the kobolds will suddenly attacking you at your home tile, and you need to send a little bit of army back to defend yourself or defend with your villagers, and then you start starving. We all know the situations right there, right? But with this, you can work against that a little bit, and at least through time get a little bit better relationship with them. and maybe even later on in the game get the +5 gold from them. I think therefore you need to trade a little bit, though otherwise it will just take too long. So now we are going over the new neutral factions, which are the dwarves. The dwarves are joining the Northgard party. Dwarves are well known for their mining prowess and will obviously have access to supplies of many treasures and precious resources, but come too close and you might regret it. On the other hand, they might lend you a helping hand if you manage to gain their trust. And that's basically what I said to you before. Like, you will get a few resources of them. 30 iron, 60 stone are in their stocks. If this is gone, they cannot give any gifts anymore. I think this is also counted cumulative. So the dwarven only have a set amount of gifts for all the players. So everyone can basically trade with them if you have them scouted, that you can see them. But yeah, they only have this amount of resources, so not for every player they have 30 iron, 60 stone. It's for all the players. I guess you know what I mean. In general, I didn't attack the dwarven yet, so I can't say how easy or hard it is to actually clear out the dwarvens. I just saw people getting attacked by dwarvens, and these were pretty hard to kill. So I don't know if it's gonna be too easy to clear them out. Let's say it like that. But as a trading partner, they are definitely pretty cool, and I think this could also get more and more the meta. Like later on, we're gonna learn that giants are a lot harder to clear out now. I don't think just killing all the neutrals will be that much more of a meta, but there are also a few other changes that might play into that. We're just gonna see it right here. So scouting and spying has been a little bit reworked, while yeah, scouting is just a little change here. While scouting, the borders of territories under the fog of war are now colorless. How you can see right here, this is the territory of a player. It is white before, and as soon as you have scouted out, you can see, it is the red player. So you cannot, before the game, basically watch out, okay, we have the raven of the other team, the raven is green. Okay, we go over, we see a green border, okay, we attack the raven, let's go. So you cannot know who you are attacking before you actually cleared out, like scouted the territory right there. So you cannot expect where the players are, basically. There's still one way, but you need a lot of experience for that though, and it depends on if the generation worked right, but it usually does nowadays. That if you have full mirrored clans, you can still know, okay, I'm in the left upper corner, the map is full mirrored, so my opponent needs to be in the right lower corner, like if you have the same clans, and then vice versa, you know. There's still a way to find that out, but you need mirrored clans for this, otherwise you can't be sure if the clans actually spawned like that, and then you need to clear the territory or scout the territory so you can actually know what's going on. There is a completely new thing here also in there though. By sending scouts to spy in enemy's town hall, you may access new information like their lore tree or resource stocks. So you can see right here, you can send a scout right to the town hall of an opponent. And if you did so, you can decide if you want to see like their lore right there, or maybe their resource stocks, which can all be really interesting. So maybe he has a huge amount of gold stocked up, and there's a moment you can already know, okay, they're definitely planning to attack soon. Or you can just check out their lore tree, which will basically gives you a bunch of different answers about what their strategy might be and what they are doing. I think that's a pretty interesting change. I think especially for free-for-alls that can be pretty cool. While in the later stages of free-for-alls will oftentimes just lead to, okay, basically he has most of the lores already because we're like in 804 or something, and in 804 most of the clans will have most of the lores they will need already. Gotta be seen how this is implemented into multiplayer. I just like it quite a bit that it is possible now, and yeah, maybe a few cheeky strategies resolve from that. It would be really nice to see. So, in addition to notifications regarding other clans, now feature the portrait of their war chiefs. That seems like a little, very small change right here, but I really like it. It really makes the general game feel a little bit different, right? If you see the things popping up, it makes it a little bit easier to distinguish the different clans. Who did that right now, and now you can just see the war chief. And the more you will see those portraits, the more you can bound the war chiefs, of course, to them. I think they are pretty easy to see that this is horse, for example. Also for the other clans, it's usually pretty easy. It's just like I think it just makes the game look a little bit better. It's more or less an aesthetic, but I think definitely a good one and a good implementation right here with the update. Let's check the Rivalry tab. Something I didn't have the chance to test out too much right now, but we're gonna check it out right here. Based on the information you've gathered, you can now declare an enemy clan as your rival for a gain, but at a cost. Town twinning boosts your population growth, but it also increases the population growth of your rival. It's this here. So for each population you have more than your rival. I think that's basically what it says here, no? Oh no, it doesn't. So for each population you have more than your rival, the arrival speed of its villagers and yours increases. So you can see right here the Squirrel clan has less villagers, the Snake clan has just as much villagers, and the Horse clan has 8 villagers more. If you pick that now, you will get villagers a lot quicker, and the horse will also get villagers quicker. So your rival, basically, you're giving your rival a little buff there. The clue, or the why it even makes sense, let's say it like that, the crux about this is that your opponent will be buffed but already has a lot more villagers. Therefore, the time that it gets new villagers is a lot longer than for you. So I feel like that can be seen like, why would I buff my opponent that is already in front of me in villagers just so I get villagers quicker? That makes no sense. Yeah, it makes quite some sense because yeah, you will get villagers a lot quicker than your opponent. So you buff your opponent, even if you get buffed by the same amount, you will get a little bit more of a buff because you already have less villagers. So that lets you catch up a little bit easier, you know? I think can't be underestimated, even though you're boosting your opponent a little bit. Then we have eavesdropping. Yeah, for any knowledge your rival discovered and you did not, your population produces more lore. It's also pretty cool. Not sure how that goes over to the rival, if it will also get a little bit of a lore production. If you get the same amount, then I would really think about if that's a good idea, even though lores later on cost a little bit more and you're again catching up a little bit more in lores if you do that. Even if we both get a little bit, but I would rate this a little bit weaker than, for example, this here. If you are actually behind in lore and you give your opponent the same lore production than you, that would be a little bit rough. But it doesn't say right here, so maybe you just get a straight up bonus, which would be really good. The next thing we have here, yeah, I can't really say the name right here because it's not. YouTube doesn't like that word. For each 50 fame you have more than your rival, your military unit's defense is increased against this clan. Your rival gets fame when killing your military units. I think this is a really nice trade-off. You get so much fame for each you get so much defense for being behind in fame right there. But if you are still losing the fight with this defense, you will lose even more, like in fame. Like your opponent will get even more fame. Then for the next fight though, you would have even bigger of a bonus. So that's pretty cool. I like this feature right here, and I guess that will be pretty interesting. Here we can also see the exact numbers here. This is the thing that I can't really deliver you right here because I couldn't play around with it too much. But your military unit's defense is increased by 4% against your rival for each 50 fame you are like behind them. So let's say you are 200 fame behind your opponent, you will get 16% more defense, which is definitely quite a bit. I don't know if it works on Snake how it would be on other clans, because on Snake that would be pretty pure insanity, right? Imagine like a stack with 800 fame stack, and you come with the 0 fame Snake in there. Let's quickly get through. We have 80, we have 8 times 80, that's a 64% defense. So I guess there will be a cap. It can't be that it just like gives you 64% bonus. Like for Skirmisher that has 4, I guess you would have over 6 resistance then on a skirmisher. Isn't that already? Nah, you're still far away from a shield bearer. But I know especially on resistance, when you have 4 resistance against a unit that has 5 resistance, you have a huge disadvantage. I think I already said that in older videos, but just in case you didn't know, let's just throw that in here. the resistance gets exponentially less useful. So if you have a unit with 1 resistance, isn't this one just as an example, you have a unit with 1 resistance and you get it up to 2 resistance, it will be a lot better for the unit than if you would have a unit with 10 resistance and you give it 11 resistance. So especially for this case, yeah, that can help out quite a bit. Because like resistance gets more and more useless the more resistance you already have, and then with Snake, if you could give yourself such a big buff and have your skirmishers basically at least have the armor that warriors have, is already pretty insane. But yeah, I guess that's pretty cool. Let's see how that will actually work out in game, and yeah, I'm pretty stoked for it. The last bonus here would be Manhunt. For each 100 military experience you have less, your rival gains increased attack power inside his territory, but reduced attack power outside his territory. This does not apply against your clan. So, okay. So if they are in my territory, this doesn't count? Interesting. Not too sure. That seems like a thing that, yeah, that must have a reason why that does not work against your clan. I feel like that there were an exploit possible. I'm not 100% sure though, but it feels like something that came in because there were an exploit possible. In general, it makes a lot of sense though. Your opponent cannot attack as well anymore, even though that it doesn't apply in your own clan's territory, if I understand it right. But, wait a minute. I think this also doesn't apply that your rival has increased attack power against you in their own territory. I feel like that is like that. If somebody could explain that in the comments, that would be really nice. I think that's how I understand it right now, that all the bonuses don't apply for your territory, so your opponent won't have decreased attack power in your territory, and it won't have increased attack power in its own territory against your units. That's how I understand it right now. It may be a little bit different. That can be really cool if you want to disincentivize your opponent on attacking you, but I hope it is not too strong, because it could definitely end up in a little bit more turtley games, which aren't my favorite. Like, I like action games where it goes forward, backward, you have a lot of action, you know, that would be really cool. If it would end up in people not really wanting to attack the opponent because they could lose and they're way stronger because they defend, I wouldn't be the biggest fan of that. But I hope that it just makes it that you don't have as much of one push games, right? You get an army, you do one push, game over. That is not the nicest way of playing Northgard. The nicest way is usually if it goes back and forward, but it has oftentimes also to do with the skill set of the people playing in there. But yeah, we will see. Let's jump to the emissary. This is the rivalry building, basically. Yeah, a new building available, the emissary lodge and its corresponding unit, the emissary. That will basically give you the rivalry tab, more or less, right there. Oh no, we'll give you a little bonus in there, I guess. Like I said, with Rivalry, I didn't play around too much. I would imagine right now that they give you a little bit of bonus production, let's say, for your Rivalry, because you can see the Rivalry tab already before you have an emissary, but maybe you only get the options as soon as you build them or something. Yet again, be really happy if somebody could say it in the comments, because I'm not 100% sure right here. Now, another new thing. These are competitive events. New competitive events to take part against the other clans. Very short explanation right here. Basically, there are different events right here. Let's say, contribute to the ceremonial bonfire by sending wood through a trading post. The best contributor will be awarded a free knowledge. So I guess that's really straightforward, right? You have if you have a trading post, you can trade. There will probably pop up a new faction to trade with that will then called the ceremonial bonfire or something. Then you trade with it, and who trades the most wood will get a lore. Pretty cool, right? I think it's pretty cool, like a mini game in the game right here with a little bit of a bonus if you win it. So you really gotta know, is it worth for me to put 500 wood into a trading post, so I get 1 lore. So you definitely gotta weigh it out a little bit. How much is it worth for you to get the lore? And at some point, like if 2 players already got deep into it, imagine having him like here, I think that's a Kraken, right? On 25% and you are on 24%, you already put so much wood in there. So just a little bit more wood to make it worth, and it can be really cool. I imagine pretty nice situations coming out of these competitive events. This is not the only one, of course, there are different ones, but I think a pretty cool implementation what can definitely mix up the game a little bit. So we have a few new achievements, which I'm basically just gonna fly over here. Basically same, self-explanatory. You get that still counts as 1 when you kill 3 enemy dwarf champions in a single game. Neutralophobia, win a game with every started neutral faction alive and not befriended by anyone. Okay. Clean state, eliminate 3 different neutral factions in a single game. My little neutral, friendship is magic, befriend 3 neutral factions in a single game. If I can't have them, then no one can. Eliminate 5 neutral factions after they were befriended by another clan. Spy game, send a scout to spy 3 different clans' town hall in a single game. Then we have Cold War, maintain for 2 years eavesdropping rivalry with a clan. The same with you, okay? The Biff Tanning Paradigm. Eliminate a clan targeted by, your rivalry. Your name in the death note, be the target of 3 manhunt rivalry at the same time, and in your face win a competitive event which all clans have participated in. This is pretty hard, I guess, because sometimes clans will just not decide to participate in there. So it will definitely be possible to get it. Won't be a big problem, especially if you play duels or something. But in a team game, especially in 3v3s, we'll oftentimes have this one guy that doesn't participate, man. This one guy. We all know that guy. So, we also have a few more general changes here. For the multiplayer mode, the player names are now displayed in the chat, so you can actually see who's typing and everything. Like, you could always see it in the chat, but you can't see the color now in the chat. And you can also see the player names again on the top of the screen. They're not only exclamation marks if you are... Exclamation marks? Question marks. If you didn't scout them. So you can now see which players are there in the game. You can see the names, you just can't see their color and their clan before you scouted them. When a player pauses the game, the player name is displayed to all players. And when a player ends the pause, the name of that player is also displayed. So pretty interesting change, and gives you a little bit more information about what is happening in the game. And we have the end game stats. The stats for squirrel meals have been added. In food stats, the feasts are now indicated. And in forge stats, the unit forged is now indicated. Pretty cool. So you know now what your opponent actually forged in the unit upgrades. We also have some knowledge change, and I think the coinage change is definitely one of the bigger ones. Coinage no longer unlocks a trade route because your trade routes are now available from the beginning of the game. Trade routes without coinage are less effective than before, and let me tell you, they are very, very less effective. Knowledge replacing coinage in the toppler also from the trade route bonus, because your trade routes will now produce plus 100% crowns, which means they basically debuffed the trading routes by 50%? By 50%, right? Yeah, you get half as much gold as you would do before, and then with this knowledge, you basically get it up to the level you had before. I think trade is pretty strong right now, so it will be a lore that says quite a bit and will be used quite a bit, because I think trading with the neutrals can be pretty beneficial for a lot of clans right now, because they're getting so much out of it, which I generally think is quite interesting. Let's see how it actually plays out then. Erudition also gets a little bit of a change. Like on Erudition, before your first carved stone were free, and now your next carved stone is free. Now a few people will think, what is this? There were no change. The change is that if you already built a carved stone before you had erudition, you didn't get a free stone anymore because you already built your first one that weren't free. Yikes. Unlucky, I guess. Now you can still get a carved stone afterwards. So yeah, if you already built one, no problem. You still get a free one on top. That's just a little wording change right here, which makes a big difference actually. So, Knowledge from Beyond doesn't reveal all neutral factions anymore, because that will be a little overpowered in the new meta. And just reveals the position of all neutral factions. So you still will need to scout them, but you know where they are now, which is already super helpful. But yeah, revealing the position of all of them with the now meta that you really get quite a bit out of trading with them would be a little bit OP, honestly. So good change over there. So the lore cost has been readjusted. You basically pay 10 more lore for everything. That will slow down the lore game a little bit, not all too much, but a tiny bit. And yeah, I guess we will see in the game how it actually changes. Definitely everything will take a little bit longer now, because you will need to pay 10 lore for every lore more, which stacks up a little bit throughout the game. So units and buildings, we have the new unit Emissary, we know. We have the new building Lodge of Emissaries, we also talked about that. And we have the Offering Well, that we also talked about. Then we have the new competitive events, that is the ceremonial bonfire. We saw that, making a big fire over there. I didn't have the Mulkafal's Levy right yet, but I had dwarven prospectors. Then gemstone mines will pop up throughout the map. And the one who mines the most gemstone will actually be the winner of this event then. So yeah, pretty interesting different events over here. So then we have a few other changes. Neutral factions attack behavior reviewed to be fairer. Okay. So not one player will get attacked all the time by the Murkafa, I think. So that sometimes happened. Didn't happen too often, but it were a thing. The Jötnar now charges enemy units when attacked on their own territory. Pretty important change, so it won't be possible, I guess. That should be the reason of the change right there. That you can't run in with a Zerker into the tile, have a few X-Throwers behind it, or a cat and a few trackers behind it, and just run in circles and have the archers or X-Throwers kill the Jötnar. Then while that, I think you can still dodge a lot of damage with that, honestly, because kiting is still better than not kiting. But it will now be a little bit harder to kill the Jötnar, and you will need a little bit bigger army to make that happen. It were already possible before to kill the Jötnars without microing around and like dodging basically all the damage you get from them. But right now you will just have a full-on attack against them. So usually if you have a big army up with your whole team, I guess you can go more or less on a rampage and kill a lot of neutrals off the map. The question is if you really want to do that, or if you just want to go for the neutrals that your opponents are trading with, because you can see if they are trading with them. Super interesting change, gotta say. We'll see how the games of Northgard evolve, and if it now will go a lot more about neutrals and stuff. So, all factions except Jötnar now accept wood via trade routes. Pretty important change. Every clan of the dragon in a game now has the same dragon essence gorge bonuses. Super important. Rumor mongering was reworked to match with the new neutral factions behavior. Makes sense, makes sense. The detailed flux of your resources, the total over a resource stock, now displays the flux as a decimal value, meaning you can precisely know how much stone and iron you're extracting and trading. Makes it a lot easier to know where you definitely are. Do I need 2 miners for having a trade route with stone up, or do I need 1 miner for 2? No, you know, it makes it a lot easier to actually balance your eco right there. Scouting speed is reduced by 20% in enemy territory. Personally, not always a big fan of slowing down the game, but yeah, is a change definitely. With the shortcut E, you could lose the selection of Kaja by selecting or deselecting her army. This feature was removed, so yeah, if you press E, you don't select or deselect Kaja. Like usually if you pressed E, you selected all your army for bear. If you pressed E again, you selected all your army but Kaja. If you pressed E again, you selected all your army. If you press E again, all army by Kaja, and so on and so on. That led to a little bit of confusion sometimes, and your bear running to the front where it didn't really wanted it, so that got changed right now, and you basically, I think now, just select always all your army, and you just need to watch out that you don't poke your bear. So, eradicating a neutral faction will no longer give military XP, disincentivizing the wolf players, for example, to clear them. The only reason to clear them out right now would be to deny them from your opponents. And eliminating a player will no longer give you military XP. Also a little bit of a change here, so yeah, it won't be all too important anymore that, for example, the wolf is the one clearing out your opponent, so you might get war cry or anything. And we'll end up in a lot less salt in free-for-alls, well, I think you still get the fame, so that's still something players really want. But what will oftentimes happen is that you are just about to kill a player and they will concede just in the moment before you kill him, so you don't get any bonuses right there. I think you still get the bonuses nowadays, though. I think you still get the bonus. I'm gonna take that back. I think they fixed that quite a while ago already. I just forgot for a moment. I didn't play too much free-for-alls in last time, sorry. Several sounds have been added. I can only tell you the sounds for the dwarven. They are perfect. I love them. It's really cool. It's really cool. So we have a bunch of bug fixes over here. Let's just quickly go over them. Like I said, a lot of these are basically small bug fixes, which aren't too important for the game right here. One of the debuff units is now correctly removed when healed. So usually when you got them healed to 80%, they were already back, but weren't as it's supposed to work. So that got now changed to how it was supposed to work before. So yeah, basically also this here. Oskoreya is no longer cancelled when Mileki is attacked. That's very good. Achievement, let me borrow this, is correctly unblocked. That's also pretty cool. Happiness detail not shows the entire list of entries impacting happiness and not just the X first elements. Okay, they now actually show all the things there, not something is hidden. Multiple bugs about achievements, expeditions not triggering upon completion. That's cool. Fixed value for knowledge, value of great deeds. Cool. Yeah, that were a little bit different there. Fixed Snake's Relic stealth ability. I don't know what were broken, but also pretty cool. Fixed trading caravan relations with neutral factions improved 20% faster as intended instead of 10 before correction. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it were 10. Okay. Nice. Fixed victory condition, cut off story mode. Okay. Fixed trade with the clan of the war, as the war can no longer trade with another clan. Yeah, that shouldn't be possible. I don't know why it worked. AI of the clan of the squirrel can no longer share a meal with an ally before obtaining a helping hand at fame 200. Oh, that is that's a change, definitely. A little weird that it were possible, but hey, it's AI, right? AI just does what it wants. You can't stop it. Icon displayed after a loot no longer cancels a mouse click. Okay. The link to the how to mod button has been fixed. Oh yeah, sure. That were not too long ago that I clicked on there and realized that they were broken. So I think it has been like a few weeks afterwards. They fixed it. That's pretty cool. Fixed the bodyguard from tactician military path, sometimes no longer following his war chief. Yeah, I had that once, that he just stand at the position and just didn't follow me anymore. That got changed now. Pretty cool, of course. And then a fixed cursor issue. Sorry. You could sometimes no longer target an enemy unit with your military units. Oh. Yeah, that must happen. Must be happening to me all the time. Must be happening to me all the time. Yeah. That's pretty cool that they fixed it. I don't know if it happened to me once. Not too sure. Usually I don't have too much problems with it. But that, would be definitely a problem. Fixed console spam causing lags in modded games. Okay. Fixed achievements in the expedition menu. Some of them were unlocked in the game, but not in Steam. It was a game that considered them unlocked too early. Okay. Sure. Yeah. So you basically got a few achievements in the game when you didn't have them on Steam yet, but they changed it, so they're basically not unlocked in the game anymore, I guess, because it considered them unlocked too early. In the lobby, the drop-down list no longer closes automatically when you're selecting a clan and another player chooses a team at the same time. The drop-down list still closes if you're selecting a color or team at the same time as another player. Aww. Well, that's already a pretty good fix though. Like, makes it a lot less annoying. Players will still go for teams and everything. And what also happens pretty often is that they spam ready, unready, ready, unready, ready, unready, ready, unready. And then you always just tick, tick the drop down menu, click closed. But already nice that they changed it here with the clans. So it makes it a lot less annoying if you want to pick your clan in a team game, especially in a remake game. So, Murkafar no longer stall and teleport when they attack on server. Ah, okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Sometimes they ran towards the tile and I didn't know which tile they would attack. And then came a big lag and then suddenly they were in one tile. That were not cool because it just couldn't react to the attack even though you were completely ready. So yeah. That now got changed right here. I think that's super important. Makes it a lot better that the Murkafar, yeah, a lot better to defend against them. So, fixed army selection with E and the giant boar. I didn't know there were a problem there, but we fixed it. That's nice. And we have a little bit of a modding change here. All the new Kröwns and Daggers features are not scriptable for mods at this time, but will be possible very soon. And we have a few known issues here. A few sentences in the Rivalry window will only appear in English. They will soon be available in all supported languages. And with that, we are already at the end of the patch note review here. I hope you all enjoyed it and got a few new informations over here over the new Kröwns and Daggers update. I think it's a really cool update, to give a little bit of my 2 cents right here. Definitely will change this landscape of Northgard quite a bit more than other updates have done. I think it is for the better. I hope the games won't slow down all too much with all the neutral stuff and everything going on. But if you have something to do, I guess it's not too bad to have it a little bit slowed down. But yeah, let's see how it will actually play out. I hope it will basically like resolve the issue that a lot of players don't like that games end in one push, or yeah, basically stalling out too much. So this is like a little bit of the line that you are walking. You don't want to make it too fast. You don't want to make it too slow. Yeah. Will be a little bit yeah, of weighing out how that will actually work out. For now, I had a lot of fun with the update over here. I think it is definitely for the better of Northgard, like very definitely. Really hyped about the diplomacy with the neutrals right there. So, it's something I waited for quite a bit of time now already. And yeah, happy that it is around now. But with this, I don't wanna, yeah, steal your time anymore. Hope you all have a great rest of the day. Maybe see you back in the next video over here on this channel, most likely also about a new update. And yeah, hope you all have a great day. Bye bye everyone, and yeah, maybe see you back. See ya.